Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Sunday, February 27th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we're going to be going over a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. Talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate. I believe it's a 5 or 6 game slate. There's a couple games earlier in the afternoon as well. And then going over my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for tonight's slate as well. But without further ado, we'll get into it with the recap of yesterday's picks. We're going to start off on the DraftKings side. At point guard position, we had Trey Jones starting in place of DeJounte Murray, who was out yesterday. He was $3,000 looking for 15 points out. He got to 45, so that's 3 times what we needed at him. So he's a 15x multiplier. Major hit there. Then at shooting guard, we have Bogdan Bogdanovic, $6,100 looking for about 30 points out. He got to 28, so he was a mess. Probably not one that hurt you too bad overall yesterday. The Hawks did end up blowing out this game. Maybe if that's not the case, he plays a couple extra minutes and he probably gets over 30 like we were looking for. Then at small forward, we had Devin Vassell, $5,100, looking for 26 points out. He got to 38.25, so he was a hit as well. And then we get down to power forward. We got Scotty Barnes, $5,600, looking for 28 points out. He got to 12, which is just really unfortunate. He was a mess. Played 21 minutes. That game was a blowout against the Atlanta Hawks, so just really unfortunate for him yesterday. Then at the center position, we had Jock Landale, $3,000. I put him in early when I updated my core. He didn't end up starting. Zach Collins actually did, but there was always the thing that Zach Collins wasn't going to play. Then he was going to play on a minutes restriction of only like 15 minutes, so Landale was still fine at that point in time. Looking for 15 points out of him at $3,000. Got to 19.75, so he was a hit as well. So 3 out of 5 on the DraftKings side. Pretty solid day with our hits yesterday. Obviously, the Spurs were a pretty good value team overall. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Trey Jones, $3,600, looking for 18 points out. He got to 42.7, so he was a hit once again. Then Devin Vassell, $5,700, looking for 29 points at him. Got to 37, so he was a hit as well. Then at small forward, we got down to Danilo Gallinari. $5,000, was looking for 25 points out. He got to 19.5. He is a miss. 1 for 9 shooting from the field. Obviously, that game was a blowout as well. Then we get down to power forward with Kyle Kuzma, $7,400, looking for 37 points out of him. He got to 57.6, so he was a good hit yesterday. Then last but not least, we had Jock Landale once again, $3,500, looking for 17, 18 points out of him. He got to 17.6, so he was a hit as well. So 4 out of 5 on the FanDuel side. Pretty solid day overall there. If you had some of the other good pieces there, you probably made some pretty good money on the FanDuel side yesterday. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries and play for today's slate. So once again, there is a couple afternoon games. So we have the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks. 76ers are all the way healthy at this point in time. For the Knicks, it's Quentin Grimes and Derrick Rose out. Then we move over to the Utah Jazz, who have Jared Butler and Rudy Gay, both listed as questionable. Both obviously did not play the last time out. For the Phoenix Suns, Frank Kaminsky, Chris Paul, Cam Payne, Dario Saric all out, and then Aaron Holiday listed as questionable. We'll see if he plays tonight or not. He obviously did miss that past game. The Boston Celtics are all the way healthy. The Pacers are without TJ McConnell, Miles Turner, TJ Warren. Then Chris Duarte and Lance Stevenson both listed as questionable. Duarte did miss the previous game. Then we move down to the main slate with the Clippers and the Rockets. So the Clippers are without Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Norman Powell, and Jay Preston once again. So no surprises there. Same 4 guys that have been out for quite some time. Usman Garuba, John Wall both out for the Rockets once again. And then Kevin Porter Jr. listed as a game time decision. Questionable to play with the ankle injury. So we'll see if he ends up playing or not. Obviously, if he doesn't, going to open up some value on this Rockets team overall. Then we move down to the Detroit Pistons, who have Marvin Bagley and Frank Jackson both listed as questionable. Bagley got injured in yesterday's game, I do believe, and Frank Jackson did end up missing yesterday as well as the previous game. So we'll see if they play tonight or not. For the Charlotte Hornets, they're without Gordon Hayward. Jalen McDaniels is doubtful to play, and Nick Richards is questionable. Probably doesn't make too big an impact on their team overall at this point in time. For the Dallas Mavericks, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Teo Penson are both out. Marquise Chris is doubtful. And then Frank Ntilikina and Trey Burke both listed as questionable to play. We'll see if they're in tonight or not. Really doesn't make too big a deal, especially from a DFS perspective. Then for the Golden State Warriors, they are without Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, and then Klay Thompson listed as questionable. I do not see James Wiseman's name on this list, so we're going to click over real quick to James Wiseman and see if he is available to play tonight or what's going on with that. So it says James Wiseman was recalled on the 26th. So it says he was playing down with the G League in Santa Cruz. So he was coming back up to the Warriors. So it looks like there is a chance that he could play tonight. So I'll definitely keep that in mind as we move forward with tonight's slate. Probably not anybody want to play for DFS at this point in time, but just something to monitor going forward. For the Denver Nuggets, they're without Kankar, Murray, and Porter once again. And then Zeke Nnaji listed as questionable. He ended up missing last night's game as well. So probably not going to play tonight. Probably doesn't make too big a difference overall, though. Then for the Portland Trailblazers, they're without Eric Bledsoe, Damian Lillard, Dili Nazladna, and Joseph Nurkic. And then Justice Winslow and Greg Brown both listed as questionable to play. Obviously, if Winslow doesn't play, probably going to open up a little bit of value on this team overall. Moving down to the Pelicans, who are without Larry Nance and Zion Williamson, so no changes there. For the Los Angeles Lakers, they're without Anthony Davis and Kendrick Nunn. Avery Bradley, this is a game-time decision. There is a chance that he could end up playing tonight. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. A few things we're watching, but nothing too major at this point in time. If there are any other changes that happen throughout the day, I'll list them down in the comments as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So I'm going to start off by saying DraftKings pricing is a little bit tight today. Some of these names probably don't look the best at this point in time. These names could change throughout the day as we get more news coming available to us. But we're going to start off with point guard Luke Kennard. $4,600, looking for 23 points out, averaging about 22 on the season. Been playing very well as of late, been shooting the ball really hot as well. Going against the Houston Rockets team, not the greatest defensive team in the world either. Luke Kennard looking like a fine play once again tonight. Currently having projected for 24 points. Then at shooting guard, we're going to go with Cade Cunningham, $7,100, looking for 36 points out, averaging about 34 on the season. 3 straight games of over 35 points, so definitely looking like somebody that we want to play on tonight's slate. Currently, I'm projected for 36 points, but does offer a little bit of upside for more as well. Small forward, I got Eric Gordon here, $4,200, looking for 21 points out, averaging 23 on the season. Starting to play bigger minutes, starting to play better once again. There is the chance that Kevin Porter Jr. doesn't play tonight, maybe gets a couple extra ball handling opportunities that could benefit a guy like Aaron Gordon once again on tonight's slate. Currently, I'm projected for about 21, 22 points, but definitely has a little bit upside for more as well. Then at power forward, we have Jonathan Kuminga, $4,700, looking for 23, 24 points out of him. Can't really look at his fantasy points per game on the season because he wasn't playing much at the beginning of the year. Been playing more, although he's coming off the bench, but that could be a good thing for him once again. Dallas matchup, probably one that's pretty favorable for him too as well. So if he gets the minutes, could definitely pay off at this price tag. Currently, I'm projected for 23, 24 points tonight. Then last but not least, at the center position, we got Dwight Howard, who comes in at the flat minimum of $3,000, looking for 15 points out, averaging almost 16 on the season. We saw him have a monster game the last time out. Probably going to need him tonight against Jonas Valanciunas. A little bit of size against Valanciunas definitely won't hurt them at all. Dwight Howard probably in that starting lineup once again. Currently, I'm projected for about 22 points tonight, which makes him one of the better value plays overall on tonight's slate. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the DraftKings side, you have $26,400 remaining, $8,800 per player remaining. So if you want to pay up for a stud, you can definitely do it, whether it's Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Steph Curry, you name it. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely something you can do as well. Definitely a lot of ways that you can approach tonight's slate with that money that you do have remaining at this point in time. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there. So I will say FanDuel's pricing is a little bit softer than DraftKings today. Nothing like too crazy at this point in time, though. So at point guard, I have Jalen Green, $4,600, looking for 23 points out. Coming off a very nice game. Maybe no Kevin Porter Jr. tonight. Could help him out as well as Eric Gordon, who we mentioned on the DraftKings side. Currently, I'm projected for about 24 points, but definitely has some upside for more as we've seen in recent games. Then at shooting guard, we have another fellow rookie. So we have the top 2 rookie picks this year in Jalen Green and Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is $6,300, looking for 31, 32 points out, averaging 32.5 points on the season. Currently, I'm projected for 35 points tonight, but definitely has some upside for more. Definitely looking like one of the better options on the FanDuel side for tonight's slate as well. Then we move down to small forward. We got Luke Kennard once again, $4,500, looking for 22, 23 points out. I'm averaging about 21 FanDuel points per game at this point in time. Been playing very well, been shooting the ball well, been getting a decent amount of minutes. Goes against the Houston Rockets, should be a very favorable matchup. There's not really too much more you can say about Luke Kennard at this point in time. Currently, I'm projected for 23 points, but definitely offers some upside for more as well. Then at power forward, I'm going with LeBron James, $10,500, looking for 52, 53 points out of him. Essentially, he's been averaging on the season. Goes against the New Orleans Pelicans, not the greatest defensive team in the world either by any means, but LeBron James coming off kind of a bad game, looking for a bounce back here. Could bounce back in a big way tonight, and $10,500. Definitely not the worst price tag in the world either. Then last but not least, we have his teammate Dwight Howard, $3,700, looking for 18, 19 points out of him, averaging about 16 FanDuel points per game this season. Probably in that starting lineup once again. They're going to need his body against Jonas Valanciunas once again tonight, so probably getting 20 to 24 minutes, looking for, that 18 to 19 points out. Currently, I'm projected for about 21, 22 points. And definitely going to be a decent little value on the FanDuel side tonight as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the FanDuel side, you have $30,400 remaining, $7,600 per player. So if you wanted to spend up for another stud, you can probably do it and then kind of mix and match some values from there. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely something you can do as well. A lot of different ways that you can approach tonight's slate overall on the FanDuel side. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, February 27th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings. It can be one of my core five. It can be a different player that you just like on tonight's slate. Definitely interested in hearing what you guys have to say. And then if you want to talk a little bit of Super Draft, always down to talk some Super Draft as well. JC Money Design and myself, I think we'll be going live right around 1 p.m. Central Time to talk some NASCAR for Super Draft Pro. I think we'll be doing the basketball a little bit later. Not quite sure on that at this point in time. Otherwise, it might be right after the NASCAR. We'll just have to see how that all plans out. And then, as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates, COVID news, and starting lineups as they become available throughout the day, as well as my updated core about a half hour prior to lock. So definitely be sure you're checking that out throughout the day and as we get closer to lock so that you have the best of information available to you as possible. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams. Kind of in that offseason at this point in time, going to be talking some Dynasty, going to be talking some NFL draft prospects in the coming weeks. So definitely be sure to check that out if there's something you're into as well. And then with that being said, if you are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also be sure to hit the notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.